Some of you may remember Doug Burgum, the seemingly random candidate who popped up in one or two of the Republican primary debates, who quickly faded into obscurity before, all the others did as well. Well, as possible Trump VP pick after pick begins to fizzle out, Burger Boy's name has risen up the list, and well, now that he's back in the media spotlight, he's not really handling the Trump VP auditions the best, showing that maybe there was a reason he didn't fare so well in the race for presidency. Now, I do think he's a long shot pick for Trump. I think Trump clearly wants somebody who can match him in the superstar realm on the ticket with him, but he's saying some odd things on these interviews. So I wanted to watch a couple of them, starting with one on Fox News.
How he gets up and fights for everyday people in America every day. And then his policies are all in the right direction. If you're a billionaire and you care about your shareholders, you care about your family, you care about your grandkids, you should be voting for someone that's going to bring prosperity.
Being so upfront about Trump and how he's going to pander to billionaires is a unique and I believe inefficient strategy for a possible Trump VP. Trump wants that plausible deniability until he gets in office and has the power to do it. And a clip of a billionaire straight up saying, hey, if you're rich like me, let's vote for Trump because he's going to help us. It's not the best look. And remember, this is Fox News, where you're getting lined up for softball questions to knock out of the park, and he's seemingly stumbling on the first one. So let's jump over to Jake Tapper's show on CNN and see if he fared any better there.
Donald Trump telling a room full of donors, wealthy people, millionaires, billionaires, that he's going to cut their taxes. Is that buying votes any different?
Well, first of all, I just reject the whole premise of this idea of wealthy donors. I mean, the room of people that were there yesterday are all people that were job creators. These are Americans that took risks that
So they're not wealthy?
Sometimes risk everything they had to start a business. Well, they're wealthy now.
Now, this is vehemently false. Most billionaires were born into major privilege. The largest portion are represented by those who inherited pretty much all of their wealth, then those who started with millions, born into six figures. The rags to riches, I was dirt poor and pulled myself up by the bootstraps and started a business and now I'm a billionaire. That's false. It doesn't happen anymore, increasingly less now than ever before. If you want to amass that much wealth, you're either doing fraud or you're inheriting a very good portion of it from your family. And most of these people make money from their assets, their investments, capital gains, and they leverage net worths for credit, loans, things like that. They're not staunch job creators either. And if I really wanted to get in my socialist rant, the ones who do start jobs, the capitalist owner is the least needed part of the business or company. Jobs beget jobs. Demand for product and quality labor that creates said product is what creates more money for the economy and more need for additional jobs to fill the roles and the demands that are in that society. Not some faceless billionaire who's throwing money at something and then stealing 99% of the profits that he had no part in creating.
A plurality of the American people think that President Trump did commit a crime when it comes to this case. And if you add in those who think it was unethical but not illegal, it's a vast majority. Let me just ask you, if Donald Trump becomes a convicted felon because of this case, will that affect your support for him for president?
Well, if he becomes a convicted felon in this case, that's just a travesty of justice. Because as I just said, when you've got a business filing error that is for something that was, again, it's not illegal to pay people for non-disclosure agreements. That happens all the time.
No, and the difference is when you do it in the lead up to an election to interfere with the vote. Social media companies censor things all the time, but this dude would look at the camera, bold face, and say a 24-hour censor of a Hunter Biden laptop story interfered in 2020. But Trump, hiding an affair and using campaign funds to do so as hush money while relying largely on the evangelical religious vote, had no effect. How is that logically consistent? Mixed with the collusion you saw from Russia, in retrospect, you can really see how Trump had to pull all the stops out in 2016 just to still lose the popular vote to one of the most unlikable people in history and barely pull out an electoral win when the Electoral College is skewed to favor conservatives always anyway. So it's no surprise how he got so thoroughly trounced in 2020.